Hello, this is 3 is a magic number again, and this video is going to be about the day sign of Road, also known as human and also called Ebb in Yucatan. And this is a series I'm doing about the Mayan calendar. I'm doing short videos to get people acquainted with these day sign energies. So without further ado, let's dive into the day sign of Road. Now, road sign people, or let's call them human day sign, because I like the word human more than I like road, but they both have significance when it comes to explaining and understanding what this energy is like. So this one represents emotion towards humanity and or experience. So when you think about experience or the path of life, think about the road metaphor. And when you think about emotions towards humanity, you can think about this being called the day sign of the human. They are very humble and sensitive, empathic, you would say. And they have a spirit for service and serving other people. One thing about these individuals with this day sign is that they are quite open minded and empty. They definitely like to travel. As the day sign name suggests, road sign people definitely love to travel and they love to learn and experience life and gain knowledge, gain information, gain experience through traveling. It's definitely a big thing for them. And even if they're not traveling from, let's say, one country to another or to museums or to all these cool special places, then you can definitely see them just wanting to get out of the house, wanting to walk around in the market. They just like to move around. It's part of who they are. If they're upset, they travel, they go out. If they're happy, they want to go out. So these people like to be on a path, okay? And they have a deep sensitivity to them, very sensitive. They can easily be hurt. And this vulnerability or sensitivity, I would say, comes from the fact that they are they're able to make themselves very open, wide open. And on a deep level, human day sign people, this emptiness that they have in them is an availability that they have for divine inspiration to come and fill them up. They're like an empty container that the divine can simply pour itself into, like a glass of water. And oftentimes they may take this inspiration and it will be channeled within how they approach their community, approach their society, approach humanity, and it can be in service of other people. Because they are able to be this open and vulnerable as an empty vessel to the divine, this also will correspond with a deep sense of humility, a deep sense of, let's say, a lack of self importance. Because self importance is essentially self pity in disguise, and self importance is one thing that makes a lot of people suffer. And a lot of people they restrict themselves from the exploration and enjoyment of life and the abundance of what is within life by um, self importance, being overly self important. You can think of this as having a big ego. Now, road sign people they're like the opposite of that, very empty. Almost like as if they're saying, I am nothing, I am just here, and I'm available to what is. That's that underlies their energetic signature. So, what goes along with this is a deep sense of humility. And it can lead them to be, people who are ready to serve others and serve humanity. There's a saying that says, "Who knows more, one who reads or one who likes to travel?" The best is to do both. But road sign people, they like to be nomadic. Like I said, they like to move around and travel. And you can also understand this idea of traveling as being on a spiritual journey. And within their spiritual journey, they're sensitive to, uh, let's say, the law of cause and effect or karma. You know, the fact that the residue or the inventory of your memory and past actions, things that are within the unconscious or subconscious self, uh, can alter how one experiences their current moment and also tomorrow. They're sensitive about that. And let's say one more thing about them is that they may tend to think about future generations as well. Maybe 7 generations ahead. Very aware of humanity in that sense. Road sign people can also often become writers and storytellers because of their keen attention towards humanity. And you can pay attention to road sign people when they're watching movies or reading a novel or watching a play or a drama. How they're able to really identify or pick up on what the issues with the characters are on a deeper level. They're able to really dissect character. So, and I like this word. I think it's good to say that this is a character day sign because they have good character, very humble people. They like to serve other people as well. They have an interest in humanity. You know, let me not just say interest in humanity, but emotion towards humanity. That sounds much better. And when it comes to storytelling, they latch onto that very well. They're able to understand characters and stories very well. They are able to understand characters or characteristics of other people with, a certain level of compassion and understanding. They're good at that. So this is a very special kind of day sign. It's very common to see them in positions of voluntary work, being dedicated to improving um, social or ecological life or any humanitarian kind of endeavor. Road sign people can sometimes be seen as sometimes missionaries. They would like to do that. They would like to travel and do what is in their mind notable work for humanity. They're like the humanitarian day sign, if if you will. One thing that they have to watch out though is to not suppress anger to the point where they poison themselves. Because again, they're very humble, they're very sensitive, very, very delicate people. And sometimes these people do not like to lash out or come out very angrily. So it can sometimes lead to them suppressing their more, let's say, negative emotions, so called negative emotions like anger, frustration. They may like to suppress that. And it's important that they let other people know how they feel instead of poisoning themselves with that kind of pain. Another thing, and these are the shadows of Ebb, the road sign or the human sign, is issues of fulfillment, um, insufficiency or lack, issues of the mind where they overvalue or devalue their intellect. What they can do to transform these shadows, if they happen to have any of them, is to become more self nurturing by doing what brings them joy and fulfillment, and be willing to not know so that they can be empty and be filled with an expanded consciousness that comes out of their true self. And to befriend their mind and allow their mind to work for them and not against them, right? Issues of the mind, devaluing or overvaluing the intellect. This can be a case for road sign people, although they're very sensitive, because when you go to look at their tree of life chart, their feminine sign is the sign of knife, and the sign of knife is one that deals a lot with the mind. It deals a lot with also being very analytical, cutting down to the truth of the matter by seeing two sides of every argument or every situation. So, very, very intellectual or intellect based, I would say. And there is a sensitivity to their intellect because it is within the feminine sign. And feminine signs happen to deal a lot with emotional energy or spiritual energy. But let's say emotional energy or things that a person happens to care about or that are personal to them. And things that are personal to you may hurt you a lot more. So we may include these within what constitutes their shadows, what may constitute their shadows. So that is it for the road sign. Appreciate you listening to this video. I hope this was educational. And like I said, I'll be making more of these videos, these short videos, to get you acquainted with the day signs of the Mayan calendar. And it is very cool to actually live your life following the Mayan calendar and seeing what day sign is active every other day, what energy is prominent every other day. I also do Mayan day sign readings, so if you would like to know more about your day sign and your tree of life and all that stuff, definitely head over to my Etsy store. The link is in the bio for Mayan day sign reading if you would like one. And even when it comes to living with the calendar, I have advanced tips to help you live a lot more closely to the calendar than just if you had the calendar itself. There's a lot that goes into this that I would like to share with you. And with that being said, thanks for watching and take care.